Skadoosh ninjas, welcome back. Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming Modern Horizons. We've only had 2 spoilers so far, but we got a whole bunch today. This is really exciting, so let's just get up on into it. Imposter of the 6th Pride. It's a creature, a shape shifter. Deuce drop. We all like deuce drops. I just took a deuce. Changeling. This card is every creature type. It's a 3/1. I mean, there's not too much to say about this, except changelings are back, baby. And I think that's pretty cool. And there's one card in particular that's actually going to synergize pretty well. Actually, any cheap changeling cards that can come out are really, really impactful. And we'll get to what I'm talking about in here in just one moment. But it is cool to see the shapeshifters taking some flight. That is the first card we got. Stream of Thought. This one's interesting, though. Let me just read it first. It's a 1-drop. Mono blue, baby. Sorcery. Common. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. You shuffle up to 4 cards from your graveyard into your library. Replicate for 4. For those of you unfamiliar with replicate, what it is, when you cast this spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. You may choose new targets for the copies. This is the first time, something interesting. Replicate, its cost is different from its converted mana cost. Usually, they're one and the same, but not this occasion, not this time. This would be sweet in like a Phoenix build. I don't see why not. Actually, there's quite a few cards we're going to see spoiled today that would do just phenomenal in Phoenix decks. This being one of them, I believe, in my opinion. I don't see why it wouldn't. Because you're taking target player puts top 4 cards of the library into their graveyard. You could do that to yourself. And then also you shuffle up to 4 cards from your graveyard into your library. Very interesting, and you can replicate the whole process. Pretty nuts, man. I think it's a really cool. I think it's a cool card. I do think it's going to see play. I'm not sure how much play though. Deep Forest Hermit is our first rare that we're going to see today spoiled. It's a 5-drop. Squirrels. Shout out to Squirrel's mom. You guys know what I'm talking about. Vanishing 3. What that means, this creature enters the battlefield with 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter from it. When the last is removed, sacrifice it. When Deep Forest Hermit enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. Squirrels you control get +1/+1. So it is like a squirrel lord, basically. But this thing does end up getting sacrificed. It's a ticking time bomb. Too many hits there. Holy crap. Okay, that was a little weird. But what I wanted to say, but it just keeps ticking down, you know, and eventually you're going to have to sacrifice it. Someone's going to make a meme out of that. A cool card, just I'm throwing up there, commander-wise at least. Mazaric Crawl Death Priest. This would combo really cool with something like the Deep Forest Hermit, you know. It's a 5-drop legendary creature, instant shaman flying. Whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So, I mean, you're going to end up sacrificing this Deep Forest Hermit. It's going to go, like, bye-bye and lose itself in the forest again. But that would perk nicely with the priest over here on the right, you know. There's little things to think about. Basically, any kind of deck where maybe there's, like, a perk you get from a sacrifice of a card. Because it's inevitable. It has to be sacrificed. Pretty cool. Prohibit is a deuce drop. I gotta know your guys' opinion on this one. It's a common, it's an instant. It's got a kicker for 2. You may pay an additional 2 as you cast this spell. Counter target spell if its converted mana cost is 2 or less. If the spell was kicked, counter that spell if its converted mana cost is 4 or less instead. That's pretty sweet. But would you rather have Spell Snare in your deck as a 1-drop instant, counter target spell with converted mana cost 2? I mean, the choice is yours, really. Which one you want to go with? But I think Prohibit's more flexible. This is true. But are you really going to be sitting around waiting? Oh, God, I can't wait to kick this freaking counter spell I got here for 4 to counter, something for 4 or less. It's not like counter spell. And guys, I hate to break this to you, but the odds of us seeing counter spell return are about slim to none. So don't really get your hopes up. I just don't think it's in the cards. It's most likely not going to happen. Along with another card, I just don't think it's going to happen. But we'll get to that all in a second here. My opinion, I'd go with the Spell Snare. I just think it's sweet. I get it. It's limited counter target spell, converted mana cost 2. You can't counter at 1 or 3, but think about how many cards are in Modern, that are 2 to cast. There's infinitesimal amount of cards there. All right, so I think Spell Snare is probably still the better route to go here. But Prohibit, very neat to see it. Firebolt. Yes, I think it's a cool card. It's an uncommon, all right? It's a 1-drop. Firebolt deals 2 damage to any target. It's got the flashback for 5. So if you pay that ridiculous cost, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and exile it. There's more where that came from. Let's hope not. It's cool, but it's limited. I really think it's going to be limited. Maybe sideboard in a control build? Maybe. I mean, we are talking like Modern kind of cards, man. I just don't think Firebolt is going to be in a main board of anything, but we could be all wrong about this. I mean, look how many of us were tricked or fooled by the Arclight Phoenix. That thing just, boom, blew up out of nowhere, So, but I really don't think Firebolt's going to do anything like that. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying I just don't see it. Cool card, though. Choking Tethers. Sideboard. That's probably about it for this, your limited play and whatnot. It's an instant. Tap up to 4 target creatures. It's 4 to cast, though. That's kind of steep a little bit. It's got cycling for Deuce. This is an old mechanic being brought back, which I'm pretty excited about. Cycling's been around for as long as I've been playing. For Deuce, discard this card, draw a card. So basically, if you can't get any use out of it, you can just get rid of it. You're like recycling, basically, When you cycle Choking Tethers, you may tap target creature. So there's at least some perk when you do end up cycling it on top of the card draw. Maybe I could be entirely wrong about this. Definitely in your cycling decks, you're going to see this. But tapping up to 4 target creatures, that is pretty big. I mean, you can shut down your opponent's turn, swing in with some stuff, or just control their turn, slow them down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of use for this card. I think I'm wrong about the sideboard action, but you never know. I don't know. It's a good card. Martyr Soul and Wall of 1,000 Cuts. I like the artwork on these. I like the wall, like the old school artwork like that. Maybe not even old school, but I just remember back in the day seeing a lot of cards with like a bunch of shields or a bunch of swords or pikes on them, just a wall of whatever. This is Wall of 1,000 Cuts. I would not want to run into that wall, but let's talk about Martyrs of Soul first. It is a 3-drop, okay, with Convoke. That's right, Convoke is back as well. For those of you unfamiliar, I have to go over it. Your creatures can help cast a spell. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for 1 or 1 mana of that creature's color. When Martyr's Soul enters the battlefield, if you control no tapped lands, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So basically, if you cast this just by using the Convoke ability, by tapping 3 of your white creatures, or 1 white creature and 2, green, whatever, doesn't matter. But as long as you do that, well, then it comes into play with the 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So for nothing, essentially, I mean, tapping your creatures down, you now have a 5/4 on the battlefield for 0. I mean, that's better than Deece. That's pretty good. I mean, definitely in Limited, definitely in Pauper, probably going to see this card. A lot of fun, man. Wall of 1,000 Cuts is our other comment on here, over on the right here. It's 5-drop, creature wall, defender, and flying. For the 1-drop there. Wall of 1,000 Cuts can attack this turn as though it didn't have defender. For 5, no. I mean, no. It's cool, but 5 to bring this out. I mean, again, you're probably thinking something like Pauper or some. Maybe there's a build I'm missing here. I just do not see it. I do like how, Limited for sure. I do like that you pay the 1, Wall of 1,000 Cuts, can't attack this turn, so it didn't have defender. I mean, you swing and get the 3 damage in, but man, it's 5 to bring this out. There's just so many better options. That's kind of my argument with this one. We next have Venomous Changeling. This is what I'm talking about, baby! All right, it's a 3-drop shapeshifter. Changeling, this card is every creature type, and it has Death Touch. It's a 1/3. That's cool. I don't care what it is, all right? As long as it's a Changeling shapeshifter and it's inexpensive, cheap to get it out, 2-drop, 3-drop, whatever, because it will combo amazing with a Liliana's Contract kind of build, For 5, this card more recently came out in M19. Enchantment, when Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. That's sweet in its own, but the cool part of this card, even cooler than the first part, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Woo! So basically, your Changeling Well, that could be a demon. Any of your changelings can be demons, and they're different demons. It's amazing. I understand. So basically, you just have a bunch of these really inexpensive demons that come out. Somehow maybe protect them, because if that's the whole goal of your deck is to get 4 more demons out so you just win the game, you're going to want to protect the crap out of them. But Liliana's contract, anything shapeshift or changeling that's inexpensive to get out, low CMC, it's going to be a fun little idea to make a deck out of. That's my argument. All right. Headless Specter. Oh man, what the heck is this thing riding? Seriously. Anyone want to take a crack at what Headless Specter is on? Is that like a crab friggin' under the sea thing came out? Devil spawn up into the heavens? I don't know what this thing is. It looks ugly though. But cool artwork nonetheless. It's a Specter flying hellbent. Oh yes, whenever Headless Specter deals combat damage to a player. If you have no cards in hand, that player discards a card at random. It's a deuce. No tongue to chant. Yet the forsaken hymn still emanates from its body. I like the reference. And to Turok, anyone? Maybe. I don't know. Getting crazy here, man. But what the heck is it riding, seriously? Next, we got Savage Swipe. Punch every bear in the face. That's right. 1 drop. Green. Common. Sorcery. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If its power is 2, then it fights target creature you don't control. Each deals damage equal to its power to the other. Pretty cool. Yeah, just punch every bear in the mouth. That's basically what you're doing with this. 9 generations of metalworking skill are no match for 900 pounds of rage. That's right. Love the artwork. Love the flavor on this. Probably one of the best ones I've seen today. Goblin War Party. Limited popper, I know. It's a 4-drop. Choose one. Create 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. It's not bad on its own. Or creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste until end of turn. I like the versatility in any kind of card that gives options. But makes it even better. Entwine in the late game, buddy. For 3, choose both if you pay the entwine cost. So you can create 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens that come out with haste. So they're basically 2/2s that turn with haste. Boosh! Along with all your other cards, you know. Definitely is going to be in a tribal goblin deck, of course. But really, really cool. Very neat. I like the card. I don't know if it's a 4-drop, man. I just don't think it's going to see any like competitive play. I mean, maybe, outside of your popper, really. I mean, I don't know about Modern. Lava Dart. This is cool. You guys are going to like this. Lava Dart deals 1 damage to any target. Flashback. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and exile it. Sacrifice a mountain as its flashback cost. That's pretty neat. Definitely with a mono red prowess, your Phoenix builds. I get the whole, it's only 1 damage, but man, these things can get out of control quick, and it's not like you're paying excess mana to do it. You can just sack out a mountain or something, you know? I think this is going to be a very good card. I think it's going to see some hefty play. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I really do doubt it this time. I think Lava Dart's pretty sweet. I like the artwork on that one, too. A lot of people, a lot of players are really excited for this card. It's only a common. Think about that. Elvish Fury. It's a 1-drop instant buyback for 4. What buyback is, again, you may pay an additional 4 as you cast this spell. If you do, put this card into your hand as it resolves. Pretty neat. There's also ways to reduce buyback costs. There are cards out there. I don't think there's too many. Maybe a couple of them, maybe 1 or 2. I'm not really sure. But I know that they're out there. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So yeah, it's not a +3/+3 1-drop, which we already have in standard right now. But it's buyback. You can repeat this process again, you know. Pumping and dumping, baby. Just keep pumping. Pump. And if you can reduce that buyback cost, really, that's the big payoff. But green tends to be the biggest mana accelerator there is. You know, you just have a lot of force and a lot of ways to get excess mana. You know, all your dorks and everything. This Elvish Fury, I think it's going to see some play. We're going to find out. Goblin Matron. I like this. First appeared in Portal, and then right around the corner, it appeared in good old Urza's Saga. Different art here from what I recall. It's a 3-drop. Great Goblin. When Goblin Matron enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a Goblin card. Reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I dig it. Yeah, it's a great card. It's proven. It's proven successful. It's a cool card. A mother only a child could love. Yeah, that's one ugly thing right there. I mean, there's no denying that. Cool card. Wing Shards. First appeared back at Scourge, of all things. Scourge. 3-drop. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature. Storm. What Storm is, when you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. This is, I think, like the 5th or 6th printing of it. But this is one of those Storm cards that doesn't get too much hate. You know, it's like, oh, okay. I can't really hate on that thing too much, you know. But it does see play. And it's going to continue to see play. There's no surprise about that. It is uncommon. Pretty cool. Force of Negation. That's right. I think this answers our question. Force of Will is a no. But Force of Negation is a go. What is it? It's a 3-drop with some sweet artwork I want in foil already. Instant. Rare. If it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. What? Yes, I'll dig that. Counter target non-creature spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Try if you must. Great card. Powerful. Gonna see a heck ton of play. Probably already $20 out the door. I love it. I don't think it's way too overpowering. No, it's pretty powerful, man. Don't let me kid you. Great card. Let me know what you guys think of all these spoilers. What are you hoping to see reprinted in this set? Maybe something new you would like to see. Let me know all about it. I'm going to continue to drop these spoiler videos as I get the spoilers. I appreciate your guys' time. Definitely take a moment. Punch that like button in the mouth. Helps out a lot. Skadoosh!